Good morning, Mrs. Franks. My name's Josh. I'm conducting a health check on your XC60 today. To begin with, round at the near side front of the vehicle, this tyre at its lowest point, I'm afraid, is on 1.5mm, so it is below the legal limit of 1.6mm. Would advise that you get this tyre changed as soon as possible, as there is also points where the ply or the cords are exposed, such as here. You'll see there's a chunk out. You are really down to the inner rubber there and the steel beads that make it structurally sound. So this tyre is dangerous. Coming round onto the brakes, the brake pads on the near side front are on 6mm. The discs are in good condition. And the suspension components and mounts on the near side front are all intact and operating as they should be. There's no excessive movement in any of the bushes or the mounts. Engine and gearbox are both nice and dry. Don't worry about that, I've just got your engine oil draining while I carry out the video. Nothing really to report on the engine or the gearbox. Coming around and across to the offside front suspension components and mounts, and again they're all intact and operating as they should be. There's no excessive movement in any of the bushes or the mounts. Coming around onto the offside front tyre. Now the offside front tyre is on 2.1mm, so you've not got much there. You've got about 0.5mm until you get to the legal limit on this tyre. I would like to point out though that you have also got a puncture on this tyre. 1 second, find it somewhere around here. Oh, just there, look. Have got a lot, looks like a little nail or a screw inside the tyre. This will be contributing to the light coming on. With the tyres in the state they are, I would advise that you have 2 new front tyres at this point in time. If you do have a puncture repair on this one, the tyre itself isn't going to last long. There's not much tread layer to warrant having a repair on it. But I'll leave that for you to decide. You do already need a tyre on the near side front, so it would make sense to have 2 new tyres at the same time, and it would help obviously the performance and the tracking of the vehicle. The brake pads on the offside front, again, they're on 6mm. There's no problems there. The disc's got plenty left on it, and there's no lipping or any scoring occurring. Coming down the centre of the vehicle now, the exhaust is nice and secure. There's no leaks down towards the rear axle. Coming down towards the rear axle components, springs and shock absorbers are intact and operating as they should be. No excessive movement there. Nice and fresh. Now there is, just like to make you aware, there is a slight amount of perishing occurring to the rear trailing arm bushes. They're not ready yet, and they're certainly not moving in excess or excessively, but just to let you know, it's something that might crop up on a future MOT or service. Coming across to the near side rear tyre. Near side rear tyre is on 5.6mm, so you've got plenty of tread on the rear tyres. Coming into the brakes, the brake pads on the rear. Now the brake pads, the discs are slightly lipped, and the pads themselves are on 3mm. We would start advising that you get these changed soon. Your braking distance does begin to get effective once you get past the 3mm mark. Coming across the axle to the offside rear tyre. The offside rear tyre is on 6mm at the lowest point, and no cuts or gouges in the tyre, so you've got nice even wear across the back axle. And coming round into the brakes, brake pads on the rear, discs are lipped, but the brake pads are on 3mm. And that just about concludes the vehicle health check. Just like to run through a few things. The near side front tyre is below the legal limit. The offside front tyre is low. It is down to 2.1mm. However, it is punctured, and I would advise getting a new set of front tyres on it. The rear trailing arm bushes are beginning to perish, but they're not ready yet. And the rear brake pads are on down to 3mm, and I'd advise a change in brake pads. I'll pass all this information on to the service advisor, and he'll be in touch. I hope you have a nice day.